Hi everybody, this is the final step. I want to show you how to can and preserve so that you can enjoy your sauce for a long time and not have any worries at all about causing any of your friends or family problems or concerns about bacteria. So it's pretty straightforward. We're going to be using a large pot. You can use anything. This is what I use. This is the sauce that's come out of my oven. It's now about 300 degrees. The temperature doesn't really matter. You can do this cold or you can do this hot. And the jars doesn't matter either, except for the sort of fitness of them. So we see here the standard ring. This really has very little factoring into the overall formula. The degree and health of this, and I shouldn't even be touching it, but I will just to show you, this seal is all important, so you want to make sure it's fit. And many people throw them away actually and replace them with these each time they do it. I don't. I make sure that I inspect them first, and I give them at least 2 and sometimes even 3 uses if I feel if they have a very good seal. And then it's simply a matter of filling them. That is done very simply. We're going to use this. This serves 2 purposes. It's going to reduce spills and make it easier for filling. But more importantly, the metal is going to give you a very good marker as to where you should fill it. And if I show you here, I don't know if you can exactly see that on camera, but that gives you exactly just up to above where the lid gets screwed on is where you want to go. Splattering can be a problem, so what I do is with my left hand, because I'm right-handed, I use just basically a latex glove which protects against any kind of heat issues, but also keeps my hand perfectly clean, as we want to make sure that these sterilized bottles are kept as clean as possible. It's a very simple process. I'm using a 2-cup container. That's the same one that I use for all kinds of things in the kitchen. And I'm using as well just this little soup spoon, which is made of ceramic, which is just a wonderful material to work with. And apparently we're not supposed to use metal in canning. I'm not sure why. But I use this, and the idea essentially is that that gives me an opportunity to remove or to add as needed. Now I've gotten quite good at this with practice, and you will too, so that you really don't need to. Very often it's just a fill. You can eyeball it until you're happy, and then you're good to go. But just if you do make a mistake, use something like that, and you want something about like that. Removing that gives you an idea of exactly what I think the right amount of volume of air to make a very good seal. So getting there's a variety of sizes here. Very small 125s. I've got some 250s. My most common jar that I use is this 500 ml size. It's really, really a great size. This is a full liter jar as well. Also great for, say lasagnas or a large serving. That would serve 8 people. Okay, getting just very much near the end. We'll do a quick cleanup and then we'll process. So this is a finished product obviously, and one of the first things we want to do is just do a tightness check. We want enough tightness to make sure that it's snug, but if you over tighten it, it won't work. We need enough room in terms of pressure on this cap to allow some of the air to escape. That creates the great seal. So what I do is just a nice little twist like that, make sure it's not going to fall off, and put it in. Once I have filled this, then we're going to fill this with water, and that's going to be our next step. Really the key step here. We want to make sure that these are covered with at least 1 inch of water. If we look into the pot, we're going to see that these are covered up to about the line or so that's marked on most of these pots, but all you need to be concerned with is that you are at least 1 inch above the top of the jar. Let's have a look. You can see there's about 1 inch right there. We could make it even a little bit more. We're then going to bring this to the boil, and we're going to keep it on a rolling boil for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, just like that. Pull them out. Okay, all done. So, one full pot makes about 15 liters. We're looking at, I think, 15.5 liters, but give or take half a liter, that's about right. Now, one last tip. What I do in the midst of processing, so I don't confuse the ones that have been processed and the ones that are to be processed, is I separate them into separate rooms. So I'm absolutely certain of the ones that still need to be done, and then I move them downstairs to the pantry, and I'll show you that next. Okay, here is my crowded little pantry. I'm sure you have one somewhere in your house too. All you need is a cool place to keep it, and essentially make sure that the caps don't become loose, so that when you go to grab one you don't drop it and make a mess. It's happened to me, and they do tend to come loose over time. Okay, enjoy.